Roland Willits, heading into the center of the universe to visit my son-in-law, Rick Riegle.
You know, the thing that fascinates me most about when you tell your life story to me, I mean, I get little like snippets of it, and one of the things that I pick up that you sit and talk about all the time that really fascinates me is you kids owned the mountains. And every time he says that, he has such a phenomenal smile. I mean, we own those mountains.
Well, we didn't own them.
You owned them in your heart.
Yes, because we were, as small kids, we ran those mountains. Everywhere we went, I mean, everybody was always at the bottom of the mountain. That I will tell you that. We were on the top of the mountain. So everywhere we went, we had to go over the mountain to get to it. The mountain, going over the mountain was the absolute shortest way to get there.
Wow.
If we went down the road,
yeah,
it would have taken so much longer. But it's so much easier.
You kids run?
Fall. No, but it was the logging trails. From back in the probably from the 1920s on through the 40s, there were loggers. They logged the mountains, and still had those old logging trails. And that's what we used for. As a matter of fact, when we got older, or at any time, when we wanted to say where we were going to meet, it was by, say, the yellow Scotch pine.
Oh, wow.
Up on the one logging road, so we'd know to meet there. Or we would meet by the Indian grave.
Oh.
Whether or not there was ever an Indian buried there, we have no idea. And I doubt if there ever was. But my mother always said that when we were out picking mushrooms and stuff, she'd say that's what was an Indian buried there. And as kids, we always said that was the Indian grave.
Your mother sounds like a real.
Well, Mom was special. Like I said, I tell everybody, Roland, even though I grew up dirt poor, and I'm serious, we used to hide from, I remember when the banker would come for the note on the farm, and if I remember correctly, it was like $38 a month. My mom and dad didn't have it. She would make us hide because where we lived, very few cars came across the road. And as a matter of fact, if someone spotted a car, everyone looked out the window to see who it was. But when we see the banker coming, Mom would make us stand against the walls and not answer the door when he was pounding.
Wow.
But my mother was special in the fact that even though we grew up dirt poor, I always tell everyone I had the best childhood a kid ever had because we made everything.
Oh, is that right?
We made everything. If we wanted some kind of toys, we made it. Sticks were guns, just like every other kid. If we wanted to play like we were farmers and we had little tractors, we'd sift the dirt, make sand so that the tractors would make furrows in the sand. But getting back to the mountains, when my mother would take us out when we were out mushroom picking, she would show us what kind of mushrooms you could eat, where they would grow. Never pick them all, because if you pick every mushroom, none will come back.
She was, yeah.
Right. So you always had to make sure that you would leave mushrooms there. And there were other mushroom pickers. People come from the city would come out hunting for mushrooms. She taught us how to hide those mushrooms so that the city slickers wouldn't pick them all, so the mushrooms would come back.
That was
for the
cool.
next year. Yeah. And since we were just young boys, and I'm talking like 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, she taught us how to build a shelter, an easy shelter to put up, so in case we got stranded in the mountain, on the mountains at night, we would survive the night and be able to get up the next day. Most guys teach their sons how to do that, but my dad was busy, earning a living.
Yep.
And my dad was and he's still alive. He's 82 years old. Lives by himself. My mother's gone, but Dad was a coal miner, and helped him one summer in working in the coal mine. So but that's for another day.
That's
another story for another day. But and that's, by the way, that was how I learned that I didn't want to be a coal miner.
I bet.
You know. Then, but anyhow, since me and my two younger brothers, like I say, played in the mountains all the time, we built forts. We built tree houses. Now my mother, there were some bad sides to this, teaching us all this stuff, because she would come home, like she worked at the second shift at the Arrow Shirt Factory, try to help us get through.
Get your $38.
Yeah, and she'd come home at night, and there'd always be like a note on the table: "Mom, don't let the snake out of the jug." You know, we had pet groundhogs, pet squirrels, pet weasels. We had, you know, I mean, we'd find these animals, and well, squirrels were easy. I mean, you just climb a tree and you hang on for dear life up there at the squirrel nest, and we'd take a couple babies out, and then we'd bring them home, and we would bottle feed those babies.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And then we always had squirrels until they started running around and ripping the curtains off the windows. And Mom got a little upset about that.
That's the time they left.
Yeah, Mom got upset about that. And then we had baby robins.
Oh wow!
Which was kind of cute. We realized robins were a lot of work. There's a lot of digging to be done to keep a robin fed.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, we got tired of feeding robins. So, but they were so cute, because you go out and sit at the picnic table. They'd fly right up and sit down there, and they'd, you know, waiting for something to eat. Yeah. Well, of course we had raccoons. They were kind of cute. We liked our raccoons. The groundhogs lived in the bottom of the stove, by the way. Oh yeah, you know how you pull out the little drawer in the bottom, the broiler drawer or whatever it is? That's where the groundhogs lived. They liked it down there.
Oh jeez.
And all you had to do was whistle,
you
know, and then they'd peek their heads up out of there and they'd whistle back. Someone stole our groundhogs, come to think of it. Yeah.
Stole the groundhogs?
Yeah, my dad took them to a bar room. He wanted to show off the baby groundhogs, and had them in the car, and someone decided they wanted groundhogs, so they took our groundhogs. So. Oh, and I'll tell you, my mom was another one. My mom, for some reason, my mom wanted a possum.
A possum?
Yeah, I mean, we had possums all galore.
Yeah,
I mean, we used to trap, you know, we'd catch possums, and nobody really wanted even. Yeah, I forget, when I was a kid, I forget, you used to get like 50 cents for a possum hide. It wasn't even worth skinning one out, but you know, you catch one, so you skin it out. But my mom had this thing, she wanted a possum. And anyhow, she did catch a mommy, we would call it a mammer. She caught a mammer possum, and she checked in its pouch, and it was full of little babies in there. So she brought the possum home, the mammer possum, and she stuck it in a chicken crate. And, of course, mammer possum wasn't really friendly. I mean, because she was already full grown. She was not really a friendly possum. But anyhow, after a few weeks, the babies finally came out of the pouch, and they started running around the chicken crate. And we used to love it, because we would open up the top of the chicken crate and just put our finger down in the chicken crate, and you come up and you'd have like two possums hanging off of it. You know, the baby. Wow. Now, I will tell you, baby possums are cute. You know, there's no two ways about it. But anyhow, the possums got old enough that the babies got old enough that they could live on their own. And my mom said, "Okay, I'm going to keep 2 or 3." And she took. Anyhow, she opened up the chicken crate and let the mammer possum and the other babies go. And she kept 2 or 3, and she closed them up there. I have no idea to this day what she was going to do with 2 or 3 possums, because eventually they were going to grow up.
Yeah.
But she closed the chicken crate and said adios to the rest of the family, and she went about her business. And the next morning she came out, and the chicken crate was opened up, and all of them were gone. So she worked all that time to raise get those little babies, and the mommy somehow come back and opened up that chicken crate. Wow,
that's a mommy. Boy.
Yeah. And then of course when our sow would have pigs, you know, you always got a runt of the litter.
Right.
And usually the runts end up dying, because the other ones, the stronger ones, just push it out. So we'd always take the runt in the house and, you know, bottle feed it. And it always, I don't think they even make the stuff anymore, but it used to be pablum, they called it.
Oh, is
You know, it was
there?
baby
Yep.
food. Yeah,
Yep.
we'd bottle feed these, and truly, baby pigs are absolutely, they're just cute as can be. They're cute
Yes.
little animals, very clean. I mean, most people think of hogs laying in mud. Well, that's cool because they do that.
At the
But
end,
for the
yeah.
most part, you can teach a pig to go, in one
Right.
spot, and it'll always go there. Well, we would raise these baby pigs, the runts. We'd always raise those, and they always became pets.
Mhm.
And I used to give them a bath in the bathtub. Give them a bath in the bathtub so they wouldn't stink, But and then as they got older, we'd ride them, and we just had a lot of fun with them. Of course, we ate them all too, But a lot of people say, "Oh, gee, we can't eat that hog," but we did. We ate them. That's what we raised them for. But you enjoy them while they're still, That's just part of growing up.
That's wonderful.
Old men's stories returning home. Maybe today we'll go to the top of that mountain.